good news for Suns fans. Chris Paul isn't on the injury report for tonight's Game 2 matchup against the Lakers. Paul suffered a right shoulder contusion in the second quarter of the Suns' 99-90 Game 1 win over L.A. when LeBron James leapt over him for a layup. He checked back in minutes later after exiting briefly. And after the game, he said he would, quote, absolutely be ready for tonight's matchup. Now, if the Lakers and Suns are neck and neck down the stretch, Phoenix will be thankful that they've got CP3, who's dominated clutch time over the past 2 seasons, including the playoffs. Paul is tied for second most points in that situation in the NBA. Clutch time is defined as the final 5 minutes and the score within 5 points. So let's now welcome in our NBA reporter, Dave McMenamin from Phoenix. So CP3 not on the Suns injury report. What more can you tell us about the shoulder injury that he's dealing with?
Ryan, Suns coach Monty Williams said Monday that the pain and soreness that Chris Paul was experiencing Sunday had substantially subsided come Monday. Now, Monty said during some of those huddles on Sunday, looking at Chris's face and seeing the pain and stress as he was working through what his body was feeling, sometimes Monty said he's going to go into Game 2 and trust the medical staff and trust Chris Paul when it comes to what he's saying about his body, and they were moving forward. You saw Chris having a bit of a loose handle in Game 1. Monty said that Chris was working on his dribbling progressions at practice on Monday.
Yeah, you got the feeling he would not be denied in terms of playing this game. Now, let's talk about the Lakers. They scored just over 90 points in Game 1, or just 90 points in Game 1, the third fewest in any game in which both LeBron and AD have played. So what potential lineup changes could be in store for LA tonight?
Ryan, Frank Vogel said we had to be willing to make adjustments, win or lose. So coming off the loss, you expect them to move around the chess pieces in some form or fashion. And the player you have to look to is Marc Gasol. He's received DNPs in 4 out of the last 5 games for the Lakers. And he's not a guy who's going to come in and get you 20 and 10 like he used to do for the Memphis Grizzlies. But he's a secondary playmaker beyond LeBron James and Dennis Schroeder. And he's a big body. He can call out defensive coverages. The last time the Lakers played the Suns in the regular season when they won by 13 points, Gasol only had 6 rebounds and 3 assists, but he was a plus 10 in 17 minutes on the court. Certainly was impacting winning that night, and they're going to look somewhere to get something else. Of course, the guys who played in Game 1 got to play better too. Anthony Davis was 5 for 16. Kyle Kuzma scored 0 points for just the second time in his 298-game career. So those guys can step up as well.
Okay, so we'll see if Gasol gets some burn in this one. Game 2 coming up tonight. Dave McMenamin, thanks so much. All right, well, LeBron and Anthony Davis may be in for some huge games tonight as both average over 29 points per game following a loss in the same postseason. Both LeBron and Davis rank among the 5 highest scoring averages in that situation in NBA history, alongside some good company, as you see right there. Mike and Tony now with more on these two in our
the champs. You have to knock off the champs. Anybody in the West? Denver. Look, it's a lot of competitive teams out. Let me finish. It's a lot of competitive teams out there, but I don't think it's a team that can beat them in a 7-game series. A lot of
what
teams
about the Clippers? What about Kawhi?
Bro, we said that last year. So, until the Clippers beat them, it's just still the same old talk. And I get tired of watching you talk the same old talk. That's why that's like when you talk, I put it on mute. I love hearing Molly and Max talk because they speak real facts. Unlike you just be, I put it on mute, and then when the intelligent, smooth brother of Max Kellerman.
Okay. You know what's coming because I'm watching you on TNT. You know what's coming. I'm going to get you for that. I'm going to get you for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get you. Watch. You know I am.
Well, as usual, Shaq has a lot of very smart things to say.
He's being too kind.
Shaq,
lying.
When I look out west, there are 2 teams that are interesting to me this year that maybe aren't getting as much press as some of the others. Dallas and Phoenix. What are your thoughts about their chances this year, Dallas and Phoenix?
They're young. They should go pretty far in the playoffs, but I don't think they have enough to beat the Lakers. The team that scares me if they're on full throttle, no mistakes, everybody's healthy. I'm always scared of Portland because I think CJ and Dame. I think they're the best backcourt in basketball right now. Those two, especially when they going and they're shooting at a high rate. Clippers also scare me, but look, I need everybody to play at a high level. I want to see that. I want to see that Indiana Pacers Paul George, the aggressive Paul George, going through the hole, dunking, stepping out, shooting threes. I don't like seeing Paul when he goes up and down. I want to see the Indiana Pacers Paul, and Paul's been playing great, so I'm not going to jump on my guy Paul. But if Paul could play at a high level with Kawhi playing at a high level, then yes, they can challenge the Lakers.
Shaq, talk to me about Novex Biotech. What's the deal?
Well, I wanted to be sexy like your husband. So, I was feeling lethargic. I tried everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, your husband is beautiful. He's sexy. I know he has a six-pack. I said, you know what? I'm looking like Charles Barkley now. My belly is hanging over my belt line. So when I tried Novex GF9, I got more active. I was sleeping through the night, and I have energy. And yes, Stephen A. Smith, I have a six-pack. I'll send you a text right now. I'll send you a text right now, Stephen A. Smith.
I'll deal with you later.
I'm
not going to even say what I want to say. I'm not going to say what I want to say. You know damn well you don't have no six-pack.
See? Okay. Here's my phone.
Oh, Lord.
You haven't tried Novex Biotech, Stephen A.
He don't listen. Unless he lost about 30 pounds in 2 days.
I did.
When Shaq started taking Novex Biotech, he was 6'1".
Oh, God.
I got it.
Stephen A. Smith.
I got it.
Check your phone.
He did send it too. He said something too.
Yeah, check your phone.
I don't even want to see it.
It's just ridiculous.
All right, President of the Big Man Alliance. Oh, my
What did he send you?
goodness.
Let's see it.
No, I ain't showing it.
Show it. Show it.
What?
Go ahead. Show it. Yeah.
Y'all can't see this. Y'all can't see this.
Oh, is that a bathroom selfie?
He's sitting there with a six. He's trying to say it's a six-pack. He's trying to say it's a six-pack. He just sent it to me.
That's not him. Get out of here.
What you mean? That's Bali. That's me. I'm telling you right now.
He took this a year ago. He took this a year or two ago.
When did he take that? When you were in the finals?
He saved it in his library and stuff. He just sent it to me. I ain't buying that.
I'm telling you,
what I saw.
Shaq, I want to see the date on that photo. That was in the archive.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
All right, Shaq, I'm told you got to go. Always a good time. I knew you'd bring me a smile and a laugh. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Lose some damn weight.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Shaq, he can do what he wants.
You see the picture? It's
2 years old. It's 2 years old. Look at him and Jay Crowder. I can't say enough about, the pickup of him and how much he's helped them as well. That experience is what we're going to be looking for. Because the reason I got the Lakers winning this series, albeit in 7 games, is because I expect LeBron and his experience to ultimately come shining through. But if there's anybody that can galvanize the troops and peel everything out of them, it's somebody like CP3. Wherever he goes, the team gets better. When he departs, they get worse. It's that simple. And that's the case with the Phoenix Suns right now. So I would say CP3.
Yeah, though he's never been to a conference finals. Look, I agree CP3 has those intangibles you're talking about. Nothing you can do about that. What are you going to do about his leadership? What are you going to do about his decision-making? You can't even counteract that. The thing to worry about is Devin Booker. Because Devin Booker, as I see it, has a game that he reminds me of a little mini Kobe. Like, he can score from anywhere, almost no matter what you do. And when the lights shine brightest, it seems to me he plays better. In the bubble last year, he was killing the game. This man scored 70 points, 70, in an NBA game when he's 20 years old. And the whole thing about, is he an empty calorie stats dude on a bad team? No. In the bubble, they were 8-0, and he was scoring more than 30 points a game. No, he's a big stat dude on a team that doesn't lose. I mean, over the span of the last, plus the bubble this season, bubble plus this season, they have the best record. And Devin Booker is their best scorer. What do the Lakers do about that? You gonna put KCP on him? You're gonna bring Wes Matthews off the bench and try and stop him? What are you gonna do about Booker? You may have to put LeBron James at some points, bad ankle and all on him, because LeBron, we've seen shut down guys like Derrick Rose at times in the finals or in the playoffs back then. Like, Booker is a real problem for the Lakers right now.
Obviously, guys, both of these gentlemen are key pieces for what Phoenix is trying to do, but I'm taking this one to Chris Paul in this conversation. Yes, Devin Booker is a prolific scorer, but the Lakers also have prolific scorers. And a matchup that's really interesting to me in this one is Dennis Schroeder and CP3. We know that CP3 is the general. He's the difference in this team's performance this year compared to last year. But those are two guys that know each other. We know that Chris Paul is all about gamesmanship, talking to the refs, talking a little trash, maybe a little chicken wing here or there. So I think his ability maybe to unsettle someone that he knows so well in Dennis Schroeder could be something that we need to keep an eye on in this particular ball game. But it's definitely CP3 as the floor general, distributing for these guys, as well as playing that pick and roll with DeAndre Ayton. So I'm taking CP3.